a while back, I wrote in my blog, I'm not sure if I talked about it on here or not, it's been quite some time, but I was reading through the Harry Potter series again. I've watched the movies many times, and read the books many times, just not as often or as recently. And so I finally finished. I only read it on the toilet. It's my toilet reading. So I didn't get through it quite as quickly as I would have liked. So it was quite some time from start to finish. But finished the 7th book. I'm actually reading The Cursed Child again right now for the second time. And I'm liking it less than I did the first time. Just because the last time I read it, I hadn't read through the whole series again. But there's one theme, and I think, there's got to be people that agree with me, but it's not a commonly agreed upon part of the series, and that's that Dumbledore wasn't so great, in my opinion. He starts out as this, in the books it kind of follows suit with the movies. Like, you have Richard Harris, who plays Dumbledore in the early movies, and then obviously he died, and you have Michael Gambon, who takes over, and it's just two very different Dumbledores. You have Richard Harris, who was this sweet, much older looking, much older in general kind of dude. Just a second, I gotta merge. Sorry. Construction makes it very difficult to get where I'm trying to go. But, in a gist, the character of Dumbledore is not so awesome. Like, yes, he's one of the greatest, most powerful wizards of all time, but throughout particularly the last 2/3 of the series, the books, he just becomes this withdrawn, secretive, manipulative kind of guy, and he's doing it all for the greater good, which is his catchphrase. He's trying to help Harry by not giving him too much and making it too easy. He wants him to try, and I do the same thing with my students. They might see me as a little bit harsh sometimes, but really all I'm trying to get them to do is discover something for themselves rather than have it handed to them. And I get that aspect of it, but he doesn't have to withhold so much. Throughout almost the entire 5th book, he completely ignores Harry. And yes, we come to find out later that he's hunting the Horcruxes, and he's, really beginning to fight Voldemort. Spoiler warning, by the way. I don't know if it's even necessary. Oops. But he doesn't do his best. And even the information he withholds, not about the Horcruxes and Harry's journey and the prophecy, even his own family history, like, he just suppresses that. And I mean, part of me understands that too. Like, he doesn't want to relive it. He doesn't want to find out the truth about his sister's death. Was it him? Was it Grindelwald? Was it Aberforth? Who was it? But we come to, especially in the 7th book, we really come to find out, one, how Dumbledore was trying to help, but two, also how much he really kept to himself. And as a teacher of students, you can't keep that much to yourself. Yeah, your students don't need to know your whole personal life, but when they live with you for 7 years at a time, you gotta kind of forge some sort of bond, or they're gonna hate their time there. Case in point, pretty much every student from Slytherin, and Hufflepuff, and Ravenclaw for that matter. Basically, if you weren't a Gryffindor, you were snubbed. That's... Granted, the story is being told from the perspective of the Gryffindors. If it was Ernie Macmillan in the Sorcerer's Stone, maybe we'd have a different take on it. I don't know. Somebody write it. But just in general, my opinion is Dumbledore wasn't so great. He's not this person. In my opinion, again, Harry should be looking up to somebody else. McGonagall, for that matter. Like, she tries to help the students all the time. She doesn't always believe what they're saying, but she always kind of comes around and says, okay, let me help you out. Whereas Dumbledore is like, yep, You were right. I knew you were right. Let me tell you how I knew you were right, but didn't do anything to help you about it until now because you were right. Come on, get it together, man. And then obviously we have his death in the 6th book. Which, you know, it's a loss, but really when you look back through it, like, other than losing a really powerful wizard, what was the school losing? A guy that sits up in his office and occasionally has conversations with people. I'd be interested to talk about this more. If you want to leave something in the comments, be civil, be respectful about it. Thank you very much. But we got a new Fantastic Beasts movie coming up. It features Dumbledore quite heavily, so maybe my position will be swayed. We'll see. Talk to you this afternoon.